wisdom of Councilor Roberts with us, but some of those items I'm sure he would have supported, and you know some of them he would not.
Councilor Powers.
Thank you, Your Honor. At Finance, I did speak to each and, not the last one, I don't think we talked about that. But these items in which we would increase some funding for the social service agencies, all well and good, and they well deserve it. However, I think it's late in the game. I think we should have, as a council, at the budget policy juncture of this operation, we should have said to the city manager, we want to see an increase. And run that through the system so that we're not here at the last minute adding money. And I'm not sure, maybe I didn't hear Jim right, but I don't see how you can increase expenses without adding to the budget. So we really are, something's got to give. And I think this is the wrong time to do it. We should have given more direction at the beginning of this process back when we did budget policies, I think, in December. Thank you.
Councilor Powers.
Well, thank you, Your Honor.
When I made some motions at Finance Committee to increase these outside agencies, I also attempted to pay for it by taking money out of another line item. Because I thought it was very important that we didn't increase this budget, because you know, we're holding the line and we're trying to make increases on the taxpayer as low as we can. And I'm glad that we've been able to come to a compromise here, where this isn't going to add any money to the budget. This is money that is being reconfigured within the budget. And as you know, we always have some items in areas that can be shifted from here to there according to priority. And I think that's the important word here. Is some time ago I did make my feelings known to the city manager and others very early in the process, that I think that we need to change our priorities a little bit and put a little more money into our outside agencies who are doing very good work for us. They're saving us a lot of money, and they're right where the rubber meets the road. They're helping people, and that's what we do. We help people. We manage their money. We try to provide the services that they need, that they want, at a price that they can afford. And this compromise here is exactly that. I'm not going to say anything more about that.
Councilman Murray.
Thank you, Your Honor. Just a couple comments here. I just want to make sure that I understand Councilor Duffy's last addition by adding $5,000 to community event wages. And the Pumpkin Festival is mentioned, but they are not getting $72,000, right? They are getting.
That is correct.
The 52 plus 5.
That is correct. And my understanding from Councilor Duffy's comments is that the additional 5 will basically go to police overtime costs.
Okay. I'm going to take a risk here, and I hope for all my constituents who are listening, it is my intent to vote on this because most importantly, I want the human service folks to get extra money. I think everybody knows that I think it's about time that the Pumpkin Festival was self-sustaining and not relying on a lot of money from us. So I hope my constituents will understand that because we get some benefit from this $5,000 with extra police and fire in Ward 1 around the college and that area, that you all will forgive me for voting for this. Thank you.
Council, yes.
I forget. I'm supposed to read something from Cheryl Redfern, who could not be here tonight. She apologizes for not attending this meeting, but is traveling out of state. This memo concerns the request from Sunshine to increase the proposed budget from $52,000 to $80,000. I stand opposed to this request. In fact, I feel this event should be self-supporting if it is continued. Due to the negative effects this event has been on residents in Ward 1, I believe the taxpayers should not be financing the Pumpkin Festival. Signed, Cheryl Redmond. Thank you.
Thank you. Council Fileault.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm going to echo what Councilor Greenwald said. And this being my 16th budget, 5 years of those, I also chair the Finance Committee. And lo and behold, it's always the outside agency issues that come up. Some things never change. And while I understand where Councilor Duffy is coming from, all of us can come up with arbitrary amounts. And as Councilor Greenwald said, all these agencies are worthy of what they got. They're worthy of probably what Councilor Duffy had, and they're probably worthy of more money. But this was always an issue that the councils will stand up and just come up with arbitrary amounts, because it's hard to argue senior citizens need more, the hungry need more, the elderly need more, children need more, social services need more, they all need more. But I will echo Councilor Greenwald again. Fire department needs more, police department needs more. There's a lot of potholes out there that need more. You know who else needs more? The taxpayers need a little bit more. Because every buck we take and add somewhere comes from somewhere. And I think sometimes we forget that when we add and add and add. So, while I do think what Councilor Duffy and Councilor Clark have said, and all of us say that we all want to take care of our own. You just can't keep coming up with arbitrary amounts, and I'm sure this is going to be the last time that this is going to come up tonight. But I think we need to stick with the budget. The Finance Committee, I feel we really went through it with a fine-tooth comb. We did the best of our ability to come up with what I think is a fair budget. But I think we should really resist coming up with arbitrary amounts. And to what Councilor Powers said, if we feel these numbers need to start coming up because they're not sufficient, then let's do this in our budget policy next year and direct city staff that we don't feel these numbers are high enough, we need to look at them. But not at the 11th hour of the final day of the budget, just throwing arbitrary amounts around. Thank you.
Councilor Richards.
Thank you, Your Honor. I think that there's a couple things we have to keep in mind here. One is that the Finance Committee gets to vote on all this stuff and the rest of the council doesn't. The whole purpose for budget adoption night is so that if you feel there's a change you want to make, you should be allowed to make it. State your case, try to get your votes. And it's always jealously guarded by the finance director that they've worked hard, and they have. But the reality is that this is the rest of the council's chance to look at the budget, honestly. I don't have any issue with anybody trying to make changes, get your votes and do what you need to do. I'm not going to support this. I'll tell you, I would have supported some of these things, but putting it all in a package, I can't. There's no reason why you can't go line by line and say, I'd like to do this and that, and there's no reason the council can't look at that and say, I agree or I don't agree. So I have to say no to this, and we'll see what else comes up.
Councilor Jacobs.
Thank you. People say to me, yeah, do you like being a city councilor? And I say, well, the toughest thing is making choices like the one we're looking at here tonight. I do feel that we need to address these issues these needs that are being addressed by these agencies. I understand I wasn't at the last finance meeting, but I understand that we have not increased our support of these agencies for several years. And I'm sure that, like everything else, their costs have gone up. So on that basis, I don't think it's arbitrary to ask for an increase. I also, at least I was able to attend the budget hearings when we were going through the budget, and I described several of the requests as arbitrary. I think 100 Nights came in and had a projection based upon their experience of the number of bed nights, and they had a cost. So it's not an arbitrary number that they were putting forward. It's a real number. And I think the other agencies did similar things, talked about the level of service that they had been providing and what it cost them to do it. Just like the Public Works Department does, or any city department. So this is not just simply a matter of how we feel about it, it's a matter that that is arrived at through some analysis and business-like projection. The one thing on here that I really had a problem with was including the Pumpkin Festival. But I understand, if I do understand, that this money isn't going to the Pumpkin Festival. This money is going to provide services to support the neighborhood, really, and it's not going to let it shine. So in that regard, you know, I've been pretty clear in my mind and anybody I've talked to that I don't think, I think Let It Shine has been able to generate a lot of revenue through the Pumpkin Festival, and there should be enough money there for them to take care of their costs. But I think there are these peripheral things going on in the city, and to me, this item here, I guess the way I'm looking at it now, is that it's addressing those peripheral things. And I think we do owe it to our citizens to address those things. We can't just say, well, we haven't got enough money, we don't, you know, we don't like the Pumpkin Festival, so we're not going to do anything about these problems in the neighborhoods. And so, you know, it's there's things in here that make me uncomfortable, but I think overall, the notion of taking care of people in need and the notion of taking care of the community that's suffered in some respects because of the Pumpkin Festival, I'm going to support this.
Further comments? Councilor Haig.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'd like to echo Councilor Jacobs' comments. I'm also going to support this amendment. I agree that perhaps it will not solve all of our problems, but I think it's a decent compromise in terms of funding. I think also that these agencies have demonstrated the need. We heard substantive documentation about the services that they provide and the need for the increased funding amounts. I think our city charter requires us to provide assistance to the needy, and as Councilor Jacobs just stated, some of these agencies have not received an increase in funding in several years. We just passed this meeting a resolution for wage adjustments to reflect increasing costs. Why wouldn't we do the same for our